Okay, how's everybody? All good? Oh, not showing anything here? Oh, of course not, because I have not connected. There's always one thing missing. Great, so today, our third week. This week, today, we're going to be pausing a little bit on MVC. Not too much, because I think that some of the examples might still be related to MVC. But we're going to be focusing today on some specific, advanced, or sometimes confusing C# features, okay? Those features, they are very used throughout the course in conjunction with our MVC applications, okay? So the goal of today is to go through about 7 or 8 features of C# that, as I said, sometimes are confusing, but we need to straighten them out because moving forward, you're going to use them a lot. And 3 of those features, of those 8 features, I ask you to do some reading, some research. So some of you have uploaded questions. We're going to address them. We're going to get to them. Those 3 topics, I would put them into, they are the easy ones throughout those 8 topics that we're going to be discussing today. They are the easier ones. We're going to go through a few that are more advanced, but we're going to do that in a slightly different way, okay? I will not be here lecturing you about each and every single one of the features. We're going to be doing this together. How are you going to be doing this? First of all, let's see what are those features, those essential features of C#. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be working in groups, but I'll tell you in a second how this will be organized. You're going to be researching about each group will research one topic, okay? And we're going to be presenting our findings from your place, from your seat there. We're going to be presenting that, but I'll explain in details in a second. Which features are those? These 8 features. So we have no conditional operator, which I ask you to do some research. String interpolation, I ask that as well. And collection initializers. Third one that I ask you to do a bit of reading, a bit of research, and come up with your questions. We're going to be addressing your questions in the second half of the class today. Because I want to push what I think it's more intensive to the first half while we have energy. In the second half, our energy drops a little bit, so we're going to go through the questions there. So we're going to go through 4, 5, 6, and 7. If we have time, I will be the one covering number 8, because I thought that it would be too much to ask for you to cover that one, because I think it's a bit more complex. But you will be covering 4, 5, 6, 7. Together with me, we're going to be working together to get those done. So as I said, these you have done some research. That one, I'll leave it up to me to cover that. If we cannot cover that today, we'll find a place to cover that at some point further down during the course. But our focus for the first half of this class today will be on pattern matching, extension methods, lambda expressions, and link with one single topic there, and type inference, okay? Now, how are we going to do this? We're going to do this in small groups. I'll see how many we have here. Let's give this a try and see if we're going to have more topics than, more people than groups and topics. We're going to organize this. But first of all, I want to start with 4 people being the volunteers to become the organizer. So we're gonna need organizers, note takers, time trackers, and let's put it this way, regular team members. So first of all, I would like to get 4 organizers, 4 people that could be volunteer to be the organizer of your own group there. And that's the point that I'll look at you, and some more volunteers will start to raise your hands. You're gonna have plenty of help, but one person in group work, this is how things should be done. And again, when it comes to time for you to do the project, which will be in a group, again, the same type of setup you should have that. You should define who's the organizer of the group, who will be taking notes for the group, who will be keeping track of time, who will be checking to make sure that, okay, are we getting close? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? So we need different roles for our group work. So again, I'll shut down, and I would like to get 4 organizers. If you can stand up and be the organizers, so I don't have to pick you, it would be easier.
Like what you'll be doing to organize?
Well, like the name says, he or she will be organizing the activities within the group. We're going to have a few activities throughout this, but the organizer is just the, let's say, the spokesperson for the group. No. Wow. First one, great. Woohoo. Caleb, okay, we have 2 there. So if you can just stand up, because I want to see who's left, then we can make another group of those. So yeah, don't worry. Go ahead, please. 3, and we have 1 more. Come on, 1 more. To be honest, I didn't prepare. I wasn't ready for if you're missing how I would pick, you know. So.
You've got 1 from each row so far. You got to go that way now.
True, you know, we have 1 from this row here, another one from here. That's a good way to narrow. I like that. I like that. So the next one has to be from here, from this section here. Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we have 4 organizers. Great. I need now 4 note takers to join the 4 organizers. So again, you can say, I'll be a note taker, I'll join. Maybe go to the one that's close to you. Eventually, you're going to participate in a group, I mean, no matter what. It's either now or just a little bit later down the road. That's it, but 4 note takers to join our 4 organizers. Awesome. 1 here, okay. Set up, because I need to see who's left, because we may form other groups. Okay, we need a note taker. Come on, come on. Everybody will do something at the end, you know, either now or later. Okay, so I'll be picking. I'll go by proximity then. Okay. Go over there. Go here. Let's see. You go with him. Again, if you don't pick yourself, so you can stand up. The ones that I picked, stand up. You can just stand up, yeah. You're going to be taking notes. Notes, okay. 4 time trackers. Someone that will keep a look at the watch. We're going to have a time frame to work on this. So I need someone to keep the team on track. Awesome. Stand up. Stand up. I need to see who's left. Here, okay. And 1 here. Time tracker, please. Anyone of the 4 of you? Okay, stand up. Okay, stand up, please. Okay, and stand up, I need to see, yeah. And 4 more people to join the 4 teams that are being formed. 4 more people, okay, so 1 there. Well, let's do this here, 4 here. Well, we have 5 here then, that's fine, that's okay, that's okay. 1 here, 1 to join the team. Everybody will need to join the team. Okay, so we have 5 people, 6 people. Okay, so that's definitely the team. We have 5 here, we have 4. So everybody stand up there. That's a huge team. Okay, we have 6 people here. 7 with who's coming out. So we may need to split this group here in two small groups, one of 3 and another one of 4 people. Again, split yourself there. We need to split this a little bit. Okay, so we have 5 here. That's 5, it's okay. 5 is okay. 5, 5. We have 6 there. Yeah, you are in the edge of stuff here. That's okay. We have 2 left here. How many groups we have there?
Group of 3 and 4.
3 and 4.
We'll just do one group.
Just
There's
one.
still people coming, so.
Yeah, but we have to. I mean, the ones that come afterwards, they will have to join the smaller ones. Otherwise, they'll become just a huge group. I mean, look at. There'll be people that won't be able to participate like that. So split into groups, 1, 4, 1, 3. I'll leave it up to you to decide how you're going to split that. And then we have the 2 of you here. Okay, so we have 5, 5 already here. Let's join. Let's do this. Let's join 1 here. So it becomes 6 already. It's quite a lot already. There's a group with only 3 there, correct? 3. So maybe 1 can join the group of 3, and the other one can join the group of 4. So we have a 4 and a 5 group there. So again, or maybe, let's see, 3 of you could come this way here. Yeah, let's get 3 of you to come here. We're going to have better space here, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 3 spots here. So let's do a group of 5 here. 3 of you. The group of 3 is just the 3 of you. You know what? That's okay. Let's do the 2 of you. If people come in, they'll join you. Okay? So how many do we have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, great. 6 group, all under control. One little ticket there. It's not the same thing. Not the same thing. One here. Come on. So I don't want to be blamed for picking. Got you. Which team will get which projects? 1. And I will leave you with this one.
Take one?
Yeah, just take. I think it's the only one.
Okay.
Yep.
That is
And then you have yours.
one. Oh, this one.
Just 1. Get there. Yep. Go ahead. And then you get 1 here. Okay, so numbers. Who got number 4? Anyone? 4? 2 4s? Okay, it's fine. So we're gonna do this one. 6. 6 here. 5. 7. Any 7? 4 again? 4? 4? Okay, so pick this one. 7. 5. And 5. 6. And I think that's it. Any group missing? Up little plates. Okay, so make sure that this is very visible to everybody. I mean, put close to the monitor or something like that, but that's the topic that you're going to be covering. You can sit down and we can carry on. I'll go through the next instructions here. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to give you each 50 minutes to research your topic. I'm going to give you a template so you can put together a mini presentation of 4 slides. I'll give this template here. I'll give you this presentation here, which you can have a look and you can see. But how do I fill this out? Well, I did this using this template. I did this one here. All files are on Centennial right now. So if you flip to Centennial, If you go to Contents, scroll down, week 3, you're going to see all files mentioned there. You're going to see them here, okay? So you see the template here, the null conditional operator. Again, this is a presentation about null conditioner. We're using the template so you can have a look. I'm going to open the templates so you know what you need to do. And I'll explain as well. So the template. So in the template, there is a slide that you're going to put your topic name. Okay, so the topic of your research. Second slide. Then those are the 3 points that you're going to be covering in your research. You're going to be, the objective of this presentation is to get familiar with your topic, the topic that you have there. Why the topic is important, what are the main aspects of the topic, how to use the topic. You can provide an example. So we just have a few slides. Why the topic is important. You can replace this with the topic name. What are the main aspects of the topic? Again, and by the way, I'll be walking around and I'll be assisting you, okay? So you're not on your own, completely blind here. So I'll be around. So how to use the topic. And in the end, I will provide you this. You're going to just put, for more information, go to this link. The link I'll provide because you can go beyond the link that I provide, but I'll give you even the link to read about this, topic. So in the main presentation, we have under, let's see here. So again, this PowerPoint is there. Just mention about the templates, then to use that as a template reference. Group number 4, here is a link and a few things that I'm suggesting that you can use as an example and to make sure that you cover, is with if statement. And again, you can ask me more questions one-on-one as I walk through. But this is for group number 4. For group number 5, the same thing. We have some pointers here, an example. Again, the link not only gives you the content, but gives you examples as well, example 2, okay? Lambda expression, number 6. Again, make sure that you cover the lambda operator. There is an example in this link which uses words and minimal length. You can use that as your example. Go ahead.
What PowerPoint is this?
This PowerPoint here is the, let me go there. Is the one that is not there. Good. You caught me on my lie here. Okay, let's see. Shirt. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna weekly active. I'm gonna put it there. Weekly activity. Features. By the way, log into Slack as well because we're going to be transferring some files from you to me. So log into Slack so we can also do some file transferring from there. Week 3 activity. Okay. The activity. Okay, I'm going to post it there now. Okay, so it's close to the top now. So week 3 activity. Okay, so again, we're going to see a slide for each one of the topics for all 7 topics from 4 to 7. And what else we do? And again, get together, go through what's talking about the particular link that I give you, put together the example. Open Visual Studio and go through the example. In Visual Studio, there are some examples that are console-based applications. That's fine. We can use a console-based application to demonstrate the feature. That's fine. That's okay if it's a console-based. But let's get started. Let's get things moving. And I'll see if we are having problems, which troubles, and I'll be walking around. As we get through this, I'll be timing this at 50 minutes. And if it takes less, that's fine. If it takes more, well, we have to cut it short, but that's okay. Let's start to try this. Let's see. Okay, so in the end, once you are done with your template, you just have to upload via Slack, send back to me, and I will open it up here. In the second part of our class today, I will open each one, and then you just have to, someone in the team has just to talk through these slides. And the code as well, the demonstration of the codes. Again, let's get ourselves together, start working, and I will help you through the problems. Come on, time trackers, track time.
We need to finish this PowerPoint in 50 minutes?
Yeah, again, very simple. I'm not asking you to, the example is there in the link that I provided. Everything is pretty much there. No, everything is there in the link. You just have to give it a try, open Visual Studio, but again, see how you can collaborate with each other there. Because then there is no point of doing group if it's not group-based.
You're going to do the example on this?
I would suggest, let me give us a few suggestions. I would suggest that you start with some code. Get the code pieces, and start to put the code together. And then run the code, see how it works, and then start to look at the content then. But put the code together first, because, again, this is supposed to be also a hands-on. So see if you can put the code together and move from there. Maybe you focus on one person's computer and everybody, sit close to so you can look to it.
I'm guessing this expression here is just a way of helping return certain expressions defined. Seems like a beautiful tilting function. So like it's wearing min. It gives the and then it gives an expression. I guess what it's trying to do is just tell the code itself that we're using these terms.
I'm going to give a recommendation to the group here. Maybe you want to again, start on your own, give yourselves 10, 15 minutes, and maybe try independently, and then get together and discuss that, okay? But again, we have to start to interact, because otherwise we won't be able to get done. And you can divide the work as well. Maybe some people will read through, some people will type in the code. Yes.
From the expression, we have to explain only about the link you and how to use
Yeah,
them, or in general?
they use of link because Lambda it has many different aspects to it. You can focus on the ones that are related to link. Okay.
Lambda operator, or like in general, like lambda.
Actually found here.
Well,
For Java, there was
well, the link that I provided, it has some. Do you have it open? The link. Can you have a look? You can just focus on. Yeah, you can just focus, and actually very specifically, I'll open here, so I'll mention that.
Here, create a kind of like data source.
Very specific. You can
Here you're using link.
you can focus on this example. You know what's this example? If you look at this link and look at the codes, you're gonna see mentioning words in minimal length. Focus on that type of example, and that's your. Maybe expand from that. Maybe just use that code piece and explain the elements there, the different elements. Okay.
In this case here. I think this is always from part1. Maybe using this is and this is where you're using where where there's something that you're looking for is higher than equals, and then you're just counting, so you know.
We are doing some group work. So if you want to join that group, they just 3 people. So again, it's small enough for an additional member. Okay.
Basically, that's what it is.
Saying that
Yes, here. Yeah, you can
return the here and assign it to this
Yes. Yeah. And then you're going to use on a link expression. In this case, it's a where. And this is the data source.
Is anyone stuck there that want me to go through more, I guess, details of your slide, of your topic? Again, let me know. You can use me as a resource, okay?
In other context.
Maybe you would use this code.
Yeah. You have to write here. You do it because you.
Let me just go through here. What's up?
That's right, but that's the video. Just right. Why it's important to raise
Yeah, no,
number one.
actually, this is just a summary, objectives. You write the details here.
Yes. Yes,
not-
the details.
Yeah, just details, not here.
Okay.
Here, in this one here.
Okay.
Okay? This is just the general objectives.
Okay.
And then you can write the details on each individual slide. Why it's important, why, okay? Got it? So you're doing together, is that?
No.
Oh, you're doing there. Okay, so it's just the two of them. So again, do I need to introduce? I mean, new member, team, new member.
Right now, I'd like to make a decision on this. Where does top of the
Because var is but you're not specifying the type. Also, if that's the learning, it's going to check what the name is. Yeah. In this case, you have the data source, it's Word, and you have three elements, which is bot, sample, and app. You're searching for something, and you're checking if it's something that you're looking for a study domain. So you remove this one from the you have apple and app. And you're checking for the minimum length of the word. So you're selecting the shortest word you have, and it's only that. And then as you're counting the words here, you're using the length. Then when you print the word, but
Write BI. Should we write BI and change it to PD?
Anyone stuck?
We're okay. You're putting the slides together.
Okay.
And then we're all working on a second.
Okay, so recommend trying to, again, creating a project in Visual Studio with that code as an example and make it run. Make it run so we can see it running. Okay?
you're checking if the element that you're searching for starts with a V. So you have only these two options. And then you're going to collect the minimum length that you have for this and for this element that you still have. It's going to be VI. So there's your the length. But the thing is, like, we have to explain here not how you link your words, but how this in this case, it's kind of oh yeah. It's kind of a function. Instead of giving you a parameter, you're giving a function here that's gonna work, like sort your
calculate
data,
it and return the same.
Yeah.
And assign it.
and assign it to the
Yes.
because in this case,
Image recognition. Yeah. I'm freaking out.
for example, if you run this, it should work. Because you're gonna search for these parameters in the that's gonna find these.
You know what you can do? No. Change it to control right. Control right. Control right.
Because here should be
No, it's fine. You have down types and variables methods that are separated down by inheritance. And you use pattern matching to bind each variable to like a side of a triangle. Like pull there. So you don't have to super abstraction.
Just to be aware. Give it a variable to assign.
Pretty sure you're supposed to put the pictures up on the. Pretty sure you're supposed to put the pictures in the. But I took in the second thing. For the.
Where it's first line is that, the other two.
Why? Because we still writing a new code. Example.
Yeah, it's useful.
See how it is showing up. It could be example to see why it's get also still get a second professor use number instead of having good method or set so or instead of writing column set so he uses now do it right away.
So there's no like.
If anyone needs a 5 minutes break, that's just the right time. The PowerPoint is one aspect, okay? Make sure that the example in the page, in the link, that you make that run, that you put the code in Visual Studio and you hit run, and that runs, okay?
Yeah, I read some stuff for this, and then I finished because I understood it, so I went to it Saturday.
No, but it basically said it has to run.
Well, if we are coding and it's not running, you better run. You better run. What's that?
Code demonstration.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. Yeah, it's not a formal code demonstration. Just you put the example together in a maybe a console application, whatever the example is showing you, and just make it run.
I'm gonna jack number 3.
Yeah, but that's the thing, it's number expressions only, it's not only, it's not only, yeah.
Oh no, it's like he said console.
No, this is all right.
Yeah, no.
You can just,
Just follow this.
yeah, I understand all of it. The example's a little complicated, but there's a simpler way to explain and go over it if you guys don't really understand.
Even if you're good with explaining, it's simpler.
Yeah.
If you have a better, an easier example, that's fine. That's great. Just go for the easier one. All for it.
So simply put, from what I understand of extension methods, essentially what it is you're adding a method to a pre-existing class. So say something like int, for example. You can't access the class for int, right? That's already predetermined. But you can use an extension method that quote unquote adds a method to it. So I could add something called very cryptic command, and then I could make an int, like int x, and I can call very cryptic command off it. That's not int, that's an extension method I made. And that's essentially what extension methods are from what I understand. Apparently, commonly, there's a bunch of link queue expressions that use them. And also, for some reason, extension methods have a lower priority than any other method that shares a name with them. And apparently, they're also supposed to be used only when absolutely necessary. Like those last 3 points are not really relevant. It's mostly just everything before that. So that's a simple version. You make up a method and you add it to a pre-existing class. Yeah. So it's pretty simple to make something. Yeah, pretty much. It's a lot of words that don't really explain it that well. Because it talks about every single aspect and it's like, okay, all these aspects are great, but I'm not here because I know everything about the universe. I'm here because I want to learn this one thing. So you kind of have to comb through and be like, okay, this is the part that's useful to us. Because at the end of the day, it talks a lot about lambda expressions. And so it's like, okay, we're not talking about lambda expressions. We're talking about expressions.
So that's the short version.
You create another, and add to it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get that from the reading. I had to go over it like 3 times before I finally got that. I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. The first I was like, okay, so this is something about link queue and it's something about using. Yeah, it's not. It's not at all. I had to go figure that one out. But commonly link queue is used for, because I'm assuming what they did for link queue was they were like, okay, we're just going to have a bunch of pre-made extension methods. So those will cover most of your, okay, I need something that does this. But the odd time you'll find you need something that doesn't. Like the example, one of the earlier examples, use something called word count, right? Very simple. You just call string.word count and have the implementation. That's really easy to use.
Just work out the preview in .NET, so we just go into next to
Just
yeah, but I'm just
I'll go
the
from here.
example here. Like it says word count here, and it's as simple as that.
Can you just squeeze in a little bit?
They have
Thank
to
you.
call this because they're supposed to call it. And then the string is what they're operating on, and then this is the string that has
So I don't understand how the code can recognize W as a word.
Okay. So you're trying to understand how that code recognizes that?
Yeah, how can the code can recognize this W as words?
Okay, so here's the thing. You can put anything there. You can call it X, call it your name. As long as you use that after the lambda operator. As long as you keep this with the same name as here, you can call it whatever you want. You can think of this W as you are kind of creating a variable there, but you are not explicitly declaring it. The type, let's have a look. So words is, what is words there? Sorry, it's a? An array of strings. So again, that where method will evaluate each item in that collections. And I'm calling it collection in that array. So W there, because that array is an array of strings, that W becomes what? It's a string. But again, it does need to be explicitly shown to you. But yes, that W there is a string. Is of type, whatever type is the collection. Might be an array, might be a dictionary, might be in a list. But whatever type is that collection, that W there for where, that W there becomes that item in the collection. Make sense?
Yeah, but I wasn't actually doing C# back then. I was doing Java, and I learned C# when I came here. Yeah, C# is way better, so not complaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta make the PowerPoint. Whoever's note taker probably has to do that.
I think it needs to
Here it says
They let you navigate to classes you otherwise couldn't modify. Yeah, use that command infinitely. Simple as that. I want to be able to randomize all my strings for no good reason. There you go. Done. I just programmed it in. Simple. I don't know, maybe you're making a randomization program. That's why. Pre-existing classes
SQL
that you couldn't otherwise modify.
That's why it's something concept.
Because you could add methods to classes you can modify. You can't add methods to classes you can't unless you use it.
Another main aspect is that remember for separates the
Because like if I made a class and called it blah, I could add whatever I want to it. But if I format something that you can't.
in the expression itself. like, in this case, this is what you're gonna use as input for the wire. And you're using you're setting
It's its own thing, it's a method.
to get whatever you
It
need.
uses this, and then the variable type, the input variable, and then other than that, it's just like any other method. And then you have to implement it using the using command at the top.
So it's in the middle.
That's amazing. I learned that in 20 minutes.
Yes.
It's in between the input and
Yeah.
It's using section method.
One's length. So you know how anytime you want to add something to the scope, you have to say using blah blah blah. So essentially you add the extension method by using using, as if it were its own class or its own library.
What do you mean by the how to use here is just a simple
Yeah,
code?
you can just put a little code snippet. Yeah, but the goal is again to have this code running. So be able to open that in Visual Studio and create a little. Maybe it's in your case there. Is that a? It can be a console application. Yeah.
Yeah, run here. Also, you know what we can do?
Yeah, it's
the link
weird
itself,
when you
we
think
can
about
do
it that
one
way,
time.
but it's
You can do?
if you don't mind, can you
Oh, yeah,
go?
yeah.
Yeah, see,
If we run
if
here,
you press run,
it should.
That's okay. If that one is already doing that,
even if we change something here,
it will run there.
reflect, yeah.
That's fine. We can use that.
Outside first, right? No, I mean like, supposed to return something, right?
Yeah, you can just get the link from this one and paste there. So when we're presenting in the
Oh, I'm trolling. I'm trolling.
Yeah, basically it's gonna say the same thing. Then you go for number. Kind of it's a language to originate
Yeah, so it's essentially like that. So if you want to use system, you say using system. So if you make up an extension method, you'd say using, and then whatever has all the extension methods.
language to really query. Uniform query syntax in C# and VB9.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a language to work with the
In C#.
Yeah, but people will try to be entirely.
No, there's no errors. There's just no static.
But that's the thing with me. For some reason, I could at least put the baby and present. But when it comes to talking to random strangers about whatever, I can't think of anything. I'll just say, how are you? Okay. Good.
Okay, I'll just do a quick attendance here. Alha face.
Yeah, so it means the same thing as the first source.
Alan. Alan Yu. Yom. Alvin. Alvin. Yep. Andre, Anne-Lee, Caleb, Daniel, Dominique,
Would you say classes and libraries? For which? Because like say you don't have the source code.
Eoyan King,
It allows you to also extend
Yep.
those libraries using.
Well, you'd have to call some sort of.
George Zhu, George,
I don't think you can call a whole library.
Console class
Yeah, a console's a class.
and voila is the method in this class. So when
Like say
Normally, when you're typing in code,
Gwen Bion
you're
Kin,
not calling a whole library, you're calling a class.
Kin?
You call
Yep.
the library at the top, the library has classes. So you only ever call a class.
Gwen Bion, yep. Okay.
So you're gonna use say using and then whatever library you have.
Yes.
This library is something is sourced in code that you don't actually have your physical hands on that you.
Hwayong Siok Lee,
So you can
Hwayong,
modify classes
yep.
within the library
Yep.
as well.
Ibrahim?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the main reason you would use an extension. Anything to modify.
Jeffrey Yu,
Not just
Jeffrey,
per se like int or anything like that.
Yeah.
It would be if somebody created
Yeah.
Jean Choi,
a library.
Jean,
Yeah, so essentially, you would be able to modify that.
Josh?
You'd be able to modify any
Kenny?
class in that library, still using the extension method. And you'd
Kiki
do it on
Wong?
the class, not the whole library.
Kiki,
You'd still call that class that's inside that library.
Kim Jen, Gorosp, oh. Kishore, Baki, yep. Nawid, Pritpal, Sarmad, Sean,
Morton.
Soyeon Park, Jenk, Vincent, Shin Rong, Yeseo Kang. Anyone that I did not call the name? I think yeah,
If I misunderstood the pronoun.
that's okay. What's the first name again?
Oh yeah, Hyunsung Lee.
Hyunsung Lee.
It's me.
Yep.
Yes.
It's okay. Yeah, what's up? So I'm just gonna open Slack, and you can just send that via Slack. It can be public. I mean, we are sharing here, so that's fine. We can do in the channel. When Baki, when you post, I just saw your message there. When you post a message, if you want me to have a look, at me, because yeah, just put at, because then I get an email, because I'm not there all the time checking. So if I get an email, I'll have a look. Okay, I just saw yours there.
Good.
And you got to explain it, so.
Good. I was able to pick this up really quick. I don't mind explaining it. I could.
Section in, or you have something.
Well, we can. Well, this is the easiest thing to use because this is like visually, it's more crowded.
Yeah.
So if we're trying to kind of, yeah, there's a lot in it, right? Like it's kind of long, and the truth is, you only need like 5 or 10 of those lines. So if you just use the pre-existing example, because all you would need is this, technically the using, and then this thing down here that uses word count. You can always crop the corners if you need more space.
The examples I just used with your
Yeah, because you can do that in PowerPoint.
That's super inefficient.
Yeah, you can just post the PPT on Slack with source code if there is any. As you finish your PowerPoint and the code as well, you can post the PowerPoint to Slack. Just need general web application, and then we can download it from there, and I can show it here, and we can talk it through.
Yeah, don't worry. I can do the talking. I don't mind talking and I don't mind explaining, and I understand this very well. They wrote it down, but
Write a summary. Write a summary quick.
I'm trying to think what a short version would be other than what I've already said, because I gotta remember what I've said already. I've said a lot of things, most of which are useless. Okay, short version is that extension methods are methods that you can add to classes you couldn't otherwise modify. That's the shortest version.
So you're basically like saying you have a lot of like call sheets, like a policy, squares, but then you don't know what the call should be.
That summarizes the whole thing.
Well, it was the exact same thing as those pretty much.
Yeah.
Why are they important? The exact reason the summary is.
Well, they're important. That's what they are. It's the cycle of, I don't know. It's the cycle of something. I mean, you're technically writing the same amount of code. You're just writing it differently. Because technically you don't need to use an extension method. You could just write it as a normal method. Unless you have to call it 50 billion times in 20 different things. In which case, use an extension method. It's quite simple. like if I made one class and I was calling word count, I was making another class and I was calling word count, I made a third class and I was calling word count. Okay, I want word class to be.
We don't need to use money like also like Microsoft, they have did it all.
Yeah.
They did it like white line or something, they did everything, so they did it.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes you'll need like that one thing. So if you need that one thing, you gotta go write it yourself. But then depending on how frequently you're using it, depends on whether or not you need an extension method.
Are we just directly putting it up on the?
Just put upload it like this.
Just drag it over.
Just drag it right over?
Yeah, you can drag it over to the web application channel. That will be fine.
If you want us to upload the program, it's better than a copy
I'm just working on Sling for my online software capabilities class. Sling's due on Sunday. Almost done the work.
Yep. For Slack,
Two deliverables every week. Something like that.
that's, can you see it?
I'll send it to the slide. I need to send the file.
Okay, so let's get things going here. Wherever you are, we can just carry on here. No need for perfection. It's just, at least if you have something there that we can work with. So just by following the order here, I'm going to start with pattern matching. Who got pattern matching?
We're still putting it on.
You should put it. Anybody else? You also? All right.
We're putting it into Slack right now.
Put in Slack, okay. Okay. Just uploading. Okay. No problem. Okay, so I will be I'll keep it like this. So that's you guys, correct? Okay, so if you want to, I'll just move through, and as I move through, you can comment, we can, we'll be talking about pattern matching. Again, the objectives of pattern matching. So why pattern matching? Why is that important? I can read, or you can read as well. So. Maybe go for it, one of you. Yeah.
Pattern matching allows connection between different variables that aren't linked by inheritance. So if you have like two numbers you need to add together, but they don't inherit one another and they're part of different classes, you can use pattern matching to put them together and get a result.
Okay, okay. So using pattern matching enables flow among different variables that aren't connected, using inheritance, assigning them instead to an aspect of a shape. Okay, let's see if we get that more clear here. Go ahead.
You want me to come up?
Sure.
So the point of pattern matching is actually we can use one general method to encompass a lot of classes, and the information or the formula within the method will be based on the different classes, because that the method itself would recognize which classes are which. So this is the definition of pattern matching, because it matches the classes with the class-specific algorithms within the general method.
Yeah, you can move here for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so as we said, the main aspects, for example, now we're using the shape. So the shapes we'll be like, for example, side would be within square, radius would be within circle, and then we'll be using switch statements to differentiate between these classes. But the old way was to use if shape is the shape. But now, in order to compact the code, we're going to use switch statements.
How about we open the you upload the code as well? Was
yeah,
it?
but I wanted to also.
Okay. I don't know how you can maximize this. Oh yeah, there you go.
All right, so this was the code initially given by Microsoft. So for the first part, this was only to limit to return 0 for the area when the parameters are all zeros, and then this is the actual formula for the area calculation when there is a value.
So maybe well, I would say step back for a second and maybe describe what this is doing. So just mention that's a shape.
So these are each of the shapes, and then these shapes are actually their own classes, and within their own.
You can use the pointer there. It's just right there, the pointer. There. Next. Yes, you can use the pointer there to point.
Oh, okay. So these actually have their own classes that contain these parameters and their own like. Initializing. So when we're using the compute area, so this is actually the general for all of these classes, and because we can specify which classes they are from, we can actually use these to define what formulas we use to calculate the area for each shape. So these are the specific formulas for each shapes, which are also specific for each classes because they actually have their own variables that are shape specific. And then for here, this is used to check if the shapes are null, and then it will throw an exception that will say like shapes cannot be null. And for this one, it will show if the shape was not null but is not recognized by these shape checkers.
What's the difference between this red one here and this one?
So this is basically to override this to, instead of calculating, because you know that it's 0, it'll just return 0 for everything. So this will return actually area size when the
so all of this will not be in the same code. This is, you are saying that this or this, is that correct?
Oh,
this
will
this?
It'll just run first. But when the parameters are not 0, it'll actually run the formula. So for the original, the Microsoft, like this is the whole example. They just said that they just threw this in to check to return 0 if it was 0. But definitely, it will still calculate out to be 0 if it was inputted at 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
So So, okay, so k square s when s side is 0. Okay, so when this is true, correct? Then it does this. Oh, I see. I see. They are all concatenated here.
But
I mean,
even,
they are all.
but even if this wasn't here, this would still return 0 based on the values given. It's 0, but the example just added the 0 part. Because they were saying afterwards when they were using vars that you don't need the null checker because the vars can be null.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we have the
Oh, the code? Is that the code or the next
yeah,
slide?
the code is actually like we sent a zip file.
Yeah,
into.
I'll download it here. So that's the one?
That's not
Not
mine. That's
yours. Okay. So, let's see here. So that's shapes. Yep. Okay. I'm trying to uncheck the protected. Unblock this, 'cause otherwise sometimes it doesn't unzip properly.
I'm not sure if I wrote the circle formula right actually. But
That's okay.
just for example.
It's okay. Go ahead.
So for here we actually created so when we're making a new square.
So again, so this is a console application, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we set the side to be 5, and then it will also print out because we know that is a square. So then the right line this will actually return the area of the square, and then when we're making a new circle, this would return the area of the circle. So when we yeah, so this will show the area of the square and the area of the circle based on, because this was the square made in the square class with the parameters, and this was a circle made with the parameters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then
Okay.
we also have different classes for the circle and the square.
Got it. You can keep it. You can. Yeah, that's okay. You can keep it open. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. So. Just want to, and is there anybody else with the same point? Number 4? Yep. So I guess that before I mention anything about this particular point, I will hear your presentation, and then again I will expand a little bit on each one of the points. Okay? Okay, pattern matching. Okay, so that's this one. All yours. You can just move on the mouse there. If you want to point, you can point to this.
So we also did pattern matching. I'll get right into it. So why is pattern matching? So just to keep it simple, pattern matching is pretty much just a feature that reduces complexity and it makes the code look a lot more readable. And it borrows a lot of its ideas from functional programming, but ideally it's to simplify and reduce complexity. So some of the main aspects, it adds a few more syntax to that makes it a lot more readable, which is the is expression, and we use that with the switch and if statements. And we also have different patterns that we can match with the switch expression using the const, type, and var patterns. And to further explain pattern matching, I have a code example. Well, can I just show my code?
Yeah, sure. Let me unzip that.
Yeah.
Is that this one? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I use another one for. Okay, you should be able to run it. Actually, it's this one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so also at the top, I pretty much defined, we have 4 different shape classes. So we have a square, circle, rectangle, and triangle. And then these are our 2 test cases where on the first test case, which is these sets, we're using the is statement with we're using the is statement, and then the other one is without it. And then we have our 2 methods over here. Again, one with this one has the is statement, and then this one it has as well, but this one is a less this one's the more complex version. So you can see right here, this one is a lot more reduced and it's more readable.
What is the difference between them?
So in here.
So basically, both of them are using pattern matching, but there is a slight difference. I see that, but I just would like you to see if you can expand a little bit on that.
So I'll start with this method over here at the bottom. Pretty much when we're testing.
Can you just amplify it a little bit, just because otherwise people will not be able to see that well. That's okay. You can go ahead. Yeah.
So over here, when we're testing our variable to see what shape it is. We pretty much already assign it right away to a variable s, and we can just return the data right away. But if we go up to the other method, so in the if statement, we're just checking what type of object it is, what type of variable the object is. And then we have to assign it to a variable, and then we're returning the data.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
If I run it,
Control F5, I think it will pause. We'll go Control F5. Yeah, back. I think you're gonna have to do the function.
oh,
Control F5, I think, yeah.
oh yeah. So, and then pretty much I kind of missed.
That's okay. That's okay. Awesome. Like it. Okay, great. So, anything else you want to?
Well, no, that's pretty much it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I just want to, as we have this already open, just want to expand a little bit on some of the points that both groups have made. Again, I think that both presentations complement each other very well. Pattern matching is, as has been described, you have a more generic object being used as a, let's say in this case here, see, we are using here objects. Object cannot be more generic than objects. Object is at the top of the food chain of objects. And again, we are saying this is a shape. Now, depending on which shape it is, you're gonna do one thing or another thing. You're gonna perform it in slightly different calculations. Now, you can use is to check if shape is from this data type. Is from this data type, is it a circle? You can use this using an if statement. You can use this as the other team has shown using a switch case statement as well. Okay, so you can check what is the type of that. And then in the first example that they provided here, you have to do, what is this? What is this line here? What is this doing?
Is it casting?
Casting. You have to cast, because right here, it becomes an object. It doesn't matter if we are sending a circle or a square. When we put it through here, it assumes the form of an object. But inside, it still knows that it's a square or it's a circle. So here we have a test, and then we are doing a cast here. Now, the alternative is to use this, which is a much cleaner syntax, which is we test if shape is square, and we declare a variable here that is a type of this square. If it is this type of square, if the shape is square, then S becomes your square. So you no longer need to do casting. You can just use it right away to do your math here. Same thing here with circle, we have C, and it's used right away. And if it's a rectangle, we have R, and it's used right away. So which pattern are we matching here? We are matching, first is a type, and then we are using this resource here. Pattern matching is this. We are matching this type and checking if it's, if we match this object and it's checking if it's from this type. And then we are using this syntax more, a reduced syntax or a more expanded one. But that's what this is. This is. Any questions? I will also keep Padlet open here as we go along, but usually Padlet works better if we had a chance to do some work. But that's okay. So that's about the first topic here. I'm just going to close, and we're going to move forward here. Close this one. Okay. Template as well, and activity, and let me go back here. So again, thank you for the pattern matching. Extension methods. I think you got, anybody else got extension methods? Nope. Awesome. Okay. Do we have anything to send here, or is it? Yep.
I think we put the
You-
PowerPoint up, but that was it.
You did?
Okay, so there's no code to run.
Okay.
Okay, I'll work with it.
That's okay. That's okay.
Task real quick.
No, I can explain.
That's all
something very
good.
simple. Don't
So
worry.
Sean, is that this is the one, correct, Sean? Yep. Extension method is already there, I think.
I'll just wait patiently.
Electron block. And
You want to not stand while I wait.
okay, perfect. We have extension methods and take it off.
Okay, so how does
You can just pressing the point if you need to, but you have to move there.
Oh, okay,
it
that
does.
sounds fine. Sorry, no, I'm-
It does move.
Okay, so I can just move this from here?
Yeah, it's just the keyboard here. So
Okay, cool. So
Just-
it's not one of those fancy
it's
ones.
not. No, it's
That's
a
fine, don't worry.
it's a primitive one.
Okay. Yep, so this is extension methods. Okay, so extension methods. Why they're important, main aspects. Yep, you guys get it. I'll explain. Okay, so why are extension methods important? This kind of leads into what exactly extension methods are. So essentially, as it says here, extension methods allow you to add methods to pre-existing classes that you couldn't otherwise modify. So let me talk about this very briefly. So you probably all know console write or console write line. That's a method within console. But can you edit console? No, because that's predefined. But say you wanted to edit console, well that's where extension methods come in. You can write an extension method that takes in the class type console, and you could add an entirely new command. So I could call console.randomize, just as an example. I'm not sure why you would call that, but it's possible. Okay, so what are the main aspects? So you have to implement it using the using command. So similar to like if you want to add a library, it's that sort of thing because it exists in its own file at the top to implement a class extension as if it were a library. Yeah, exactly. So as it says right there. Okay, so this is an example of something that's already in, I believe this is inside the link library already. Link already has a lot of extension methods added to it. So this is an example of the word count one. So at the top there, it's got the namespace, no one cares. Class name. The class name is important because you have to say using that. Other than that, it's not important. And then of course, this is what you're actually calling. So this one in particular is word count. Word count is shown down here. Okay, so then we get to this part, which is a little awkward. So you have to have this at the beginning of the extension method. That's just mandatory. And then you have the type. So the type here is string. So that's saying that if I want to call word count, I can call it off a string. So in my console example, instead of saying string, it would say console. And then the str, of course, is, okay, this is the string that we're going to play with in here. So this is just returning something, which is going to return the word count, because apparently this is an int. So again, you can put whatever you want in here, but for this example, this will return the word count. So if you look down here, it's got this string, which says hello extension methods, and then it calls word count. So this will return 3 words, and that's essentially how it works in a nutshell. Is there anything else? Yes, for more information, go to here. It's, assuming this is the one I was looking at, it's horribly wordy. So you'll have to navigate through it. There's a lot there. There's a lot of not so useful information. Yep, so the summary, just as I said, it allows you to add on to other classes you couldn't otherwise modify, so like console or int, or in that example, string. And yeah, it's as simple as that.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so I just want to get back to the example here, and I've mentioned a few things that I think they are relevant for us to when we're talking about extension methods. So just to reiterate, what you mentioned is that extension methods are new methods that you create for classes that don't belong to you, that you don't have the source code to change them. Okay? For instance, I mean, Microsoft can open up string and can rebuild now a word count there. But we cannot, or we don't want to, because actually we could, because the language, the framework is open source. But in any case, we either don't have access to, we don't want to do that. So you can expand, you can add more methods to existing classes that you don't have access to. That's how you do it. Now, let me mention a few key points that are important to keep in mind. Is that the class that you declare, you create to have your new method, it needs to be static. The methods that you're going to create, the new method, also needs to be static here. Okay? Those are two points. And again, from now on, you can just use that namespace and call word count. I heard you guys mentioning about link when you were discussing this. What was the point that you were talking about link?
Okay, so stand up again. So the big thing about link is that link already has a library that adds a bunch of extension methods to your thing already. So all you have to do is saying using system.link, I believe, and it comes with word count, it comes with a bunch of other basic things. So the primary use for extension methods, because it's not very often you'll create your own. Typically you use them off link, and when you do create your own, apparently you're supposed to use them sparingly, because they can get a little complicated and stuff. I don't remember exactly the reason, but it did mention that. But yeah, mostly as far as link is concerned, there's a lot of extension methods located in link. That's just a giant library, which is easy to access. You just using system.link.
Yep. Yeah, so link is an extension to, the group that will talk about link, I will add that there as well. But link is a set of extensions to collections. So a lot of stuff that we can do with link we do them in collections. But we only do them in collections because we have to declare the namespace using link, and then the collections will have where select, but I'll keep that for when we talk about lambda and link. Anybody has any questions about this? Anyone? Let me clean Padlet here because I think we should do this. This is formless class, and we should clear our posts here. That's good. Okay. So again, open Padlet, and if you have questions as we go along, just post there or just raise your hand there. Okay. So let's see. Wouldn't pattern matching violate the principle of polymorphism? If we add more new shapes, we need to change it in different places, new classes and the general static method by adding the new switch case statement. It's hard to maintain. Okay, so let's think about this. In the example, we had shapes, different shapes there. Well, we could have them coming. I don't remember how they were defined. I don't know. At the very least, they all should come from objects. See, when we are talking about polymorphism, the examples are not a good fit for polymorphism. And some of those, actually, let me see if it's still open here. I may have closed this already, but let's see here. Circle. Okay, so in this example, yeah, of course, we should use a polymorphic way, let's say, to calculate area, because circle has area, rectangle has area. So we could have created a shapes, and then circle would inherit from shape, rectangle would inherit from shape, and then they could have different implementations of area. Each one would have its own. In our case here, you see, circle is not inheriting from anything. The same thing as square as well. It's not inherited from anything. My point is that in this particular case, if they were inherited from a single shape object, a single shape type, and then that we have to calculate area, yes, we should not have done that kind of testing, because then it goes against polymorphism. But we don't have a polymorphic example here. To show you the concept of the is, how to use the is operator, this is how you could use that. Now, again, in this particular case, to demonstrate that, we are using the test, the is operator. But again, if they were coming from the same object, you could say it is hurting the polymorphism concept of object-oriented. But again, it's just in a way for demonstration purpose. Now you know that you can test, a type, and there will be cases when we go through the course. There will be cases that we will need to know which type we are referring to, and it will be in a different way as presented here, so it won't hurt the polymorphic, strategy. And again, I don't recall right now what is a use case that we will go through eventually, but the question brings a good point, and in theory, it does hurt polymorphism if we are talking about if they were all coming from the same class, inherited from shapes, and we had a common method like area to be used on each one. Again, I don't know if it addresses the point here, but the example was to make the case of you can use is to test a type. Okay, again, I can bring a bad example. I remember we were using a banking example, and again, I would have to look at my files to bring up a good example. But if you want, whoever posts this, if you want to follow up with me and remind me about this example, I can bring afterwards. I won't dig into my files right now because, again, we're going to spend a few minutes trying to find that. But it's a great point and a good argument to be made. Again, if you want to follow up with me afterwards, I can show you a bad example of a situation that there's no, it's not hurting the polymorphism concept. Spoke a lot and I think I didn't say much, but trust me. Okay, so let's see here, let's see where we are. So we discussed about this one. Let me see the other ones here. Okay, you know what? Let's go for 10 minutes and then we come back and we wrap this up with the next 2 or 3 presentations here. Okay, thank you.